Today I'm putting the new DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro to the test and hike through some stunning landscapes. With its revolutionary image quality, incredible stabilisation and extended battery life, I'm eager to see how well it captures the rugged terrain of the trail. So let's find out if it rises to the challenge. Hello and welcome back to Wales. So I'm super excited today because I'm testing out the brand new DJI Action 5 Pro, which is packed full of new features. So today I'm going to be testing out the image quality, the stabilisation, the audio quality, and loads more good stuff that's packed into this brand new camera. So I'm really excited about this. As you can see, we're here at this ancient castle right in the heart of Wales. So we're going to be exploring this place as well throughout the video. So for context, I've been using the DJI Action 4 since it was released, and I've been thoroughly impressed with that camera. It's really aided my filmmaking progress when I'm out doing my wild camping and landscape photography adventures that I do. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what they've packed into this new camera, because there's a new sensor and loads more stuff to go through. So let's get into the first point, which is going to be build quality, because I think that is super important. If you're familiar with the Action 4, you'll notice that they look very, very similar. The only noticeable difference really is the logo. Now it seems DJI has taken an if it isn't broke, don't fix it approach. And I'm glad, I think, because you know, it's a fantastic design. I wouldn't really want them to change it. On this side, we have the power button here and also the quick shot mode. We've also underneath got the USB-C port. On the other side here, we've got the battery door as well. Now, all of these doors are obviously fully waterproof, and that can go down to 20 meters without actually having the case attached to it. If you want to go down further to say 60 meters, you'll need to have that waterproof housing to make sure it'll withstand that pressure and that depth. Both the front and back OLED touchscreens now have had a significant upgrade as well. They're much brighter than before, providing a better viewing experience during playback. I think they're a little bit bigger as well than the Osmo 4. On the underside, you'll find DJI's excellent quick release mount, which allows you to attach a variety of accessories. One of the other features worth mentioning is the color temperature sensor, cleverly hidden here on the O of Action, which is a sensor that measures the ambient light temperature, and it provides accurate information to the camera, ensuring that the precise colors are captured, whether that's filming underwater or in midday sunlight or even during the golden hour. You know, this ensures your footage is consistent and it has vibrant and accurate colors. So I think that covers the exterior. Now let's talk about image quality, because I believe there's been a major upgrade here. Now, I think if you ask any filmmaker what they'd like to see improved on their favorite camera, they'll probably say the same thing: dynamic range and image quality. Now, I'm happy to say that DJI has really delivered on both fronts here. We now have a revolutionary 1/1/3 of an inch sensor that supports 4K 60 frames per second high dynamic low light imaging, and the sensor boasts an impressive 13.5 stops of dynamic range. 13.5 stops of dynamic range in a camera like this is just mind-blowing. In just a moment, I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison with the Action 4 so you can see the difference for yourself. But while we're on the topic of the sensor, I should also mention that it shoots 40 megapixel photos as well, which is absolutely incredible for an action camera. There are also plenty of other resolution and frame rate options available as well. If you swipe up, you'll instantly access them. And as you can see, there's a huge selection of 4K options ranging from 24 frames per second all the way up to 120 frames per second. In terms of the video file output, we've now got a few different options. We've got 8-bit and 10-bit normal modes, which use the baked-in color profile. Or we've got a 10-bit HLG and D-Log-M. Now, I typically shoot in D-Log-M and then grade that footage with a LUT in post-production, because I think this method allows you to capture more dynamic range, which I think is super important. We also have several options when it comes to the field of view as well. Now, on the wide end, we've got the ultra wide, which provides an impressive 155-degree field of view, which is really wide, equivalent to about 9mm. There's also the wide option at 10mm and the standard D-Warp at about 14, I think it is, millimeters. Now, I typically use the standard D-Warp for many of my walk-in shots, mainly because it corrects the distortion you'll find with those wider angles. And it's also worth mentioning that when you enable stabilization features like rock steady, these angles will be slightly tighter as the stabilization crops in a bit. So I've switched to the 10-bit color mode now, just so you can see what it looks like from a sort of vlogging standpoint. let me know what you think. We're just going to take a little look around, see what's over this side. This place is absolutely incredible. Obviously with a baked in colour, you're going to get a lot more of a saturated, contrasty image. It's probably going to be sharper as well. But I do tend to turn the sharpening down a little bit with the action cameras and also the noise reduction as well. I don't like the image to be too sharp, but yeah, let me know what you think to the 10-bit colour. So I've switched back to D-Log M now, 10-bit, and I want to take a look at what it looks like in a low light scenario. And I found a dungeon here that looks really interesting. So we're going to take a little bit of an explore in here and see what the footage looks like in a low light environment. So it is pretty dark in here, and on the back of the screen, the footage looks absolutely brilliant, I have to say. It'd be really interesting to know what it looks like when I get it back and put my LUT on it and yeah, process it. So please do let me know what you think. And it is very, very dark in here. And yeah, that dungeon is pretty spooky. Anyway, I found a staircase and I'd like to explore upstairs. And I've got another neat little feature to show you. Wow, this is incredible. Look at this. We spin you around, look at the ceiling. Absolutely brilliant. So when we talk about dynamic range, action cameras do struggle in this regard. And I have to say, the Action 5 Pro is incredible in this regard. You know, let me spin you around and just show you the difference in the dynamic range between the window here and obviously the dark walls. And as you can see, you know, we can see all the shadow detail here, all this wonderful shadow detail on the other side, and we can even see the bright sky. So we're getting all of that dynamic range. It's so echoey in here. But anyway, another great thing you can do when you're using the selfie pole is do cool shots like this where it looks like the camera's just floating, because you can remove the pole in the Mimo app. So you just upload your footage to the Mimo app, remove the pole, and then upload your footage from there to your computer so you can add it in with the rest of your footage. One thing you do have to be a little bit mindful of though is where your hand is positioned. Like I'm tucking my hand behind this rail, makes it look more authentic, whereas if you kind of have your hand out like this, it looks a bit weird. So something just to bear in mind. So we're off to a Neolithical site later to do a bit of a hike, and I want to talk about a few other things like stabilization and some of the quick shot modes that I think I'm going to definitely be using when I do my vlogs in the future. Also, we're going to talk about audio quality as well, because I'm using the DJI Mic 2 for filming a lot of the video today. So we'll be testing out the camera's inboard mic too. So let's get stuck into it. So this area looks absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to get to the summit of this peak. I think the views will be fantastic. But I want to talk about stabilizations because it's one of the key features for me. Doing these walking, talking type videos, it's really important to have stabilized footage, and the Action 5 is absolutely fantastic at that. Now there's a few different options when it comes to stabilization. We've got rock steady, which is the mode that I use, and I think that's perfect for doing these walking type videos. But if you're into doing something a little bit more intense, running, jogging, cycling, those type of things, then you might want to opt for one of the other modes. Oh, I'm out of breath already. The other modes are Rocksteady Plus and Horizon Balancing. So Rocksteady Plus adds another layer of stabilization on, and the horizon balancing means that when you tilt the camera like this, it'll keep the horizon level. And you can do that 360 degrees, which is pretty awesome. Obviously it crops in on the image a bit as well, and that is the trade-off. The more stabilization you put onto the footage, the more cropped in it's going to be. So yeah, that's why I tend to go for Rocksteady. So the next new feature I want to talk about is called subject tracking, and it's in the quick shot menu. And I think this is really cool because basically what you can do, you can set the camera down and it will track your movements as you walk. I mean, it can be used for varying different things, but I think this is really cool. One thing to bear in mind though, you're only going to get a 2.7K output by doing this because it crops in a little bit to allow for that movement. But let's test it out and let me know what you think, because I think the footage still looks pretty cool, even though it is 2.7K. Look, I need to put you down, press the quick shot menu on the side and select subject tracking and wait for the box to come up on the screen. And once that box is up, it will then track my movements as I walk. So it will follow me as I walk backwards, and then as I walk past, it will just track my motion. So you don't necessarily have to do a static shot. with the subject tracking. You can use it like I am now in a vlog style environment, and obviously as I move around it's going to keep me centered within the frame. So that could be really cool for doing, I guess, like vertical videos and that type of thing, or if you're doing something really extreme like snowboarding or something like that where you're not necessarily paying attention to your framing, it could be quite a valuable tool. So another new feature I just want to talk about is the battery life. So they've extended the battery life up to 4 hours, which is just unreal for such a small battery. Now, I should mention that's under a controlled environment, if you like. It's a set temperature. I think it was 1080p with the screens turned off. So, you know, your mileage might vary if you're shooting 4K and you've got your screens on. But another feature as well is they've added internal storage. So we've now got 47 gigabytes of storage baked into the Action 5 Pro, which is absolutely brilliant because I'm always forgetting memory cards. I do it all of the time. To have this storage in camera is absolutely brilliant. And with 47 gigabytes, if you're filming 4K, you're getting nearly 2 hours of footage. So for most like vlogs like that I do, it's more than enough. I'm probably not even using half that. But obviously if you're going away for a much longer period, then you can put the micro SD card in to extend that if you wish. So we're here at the top and we've got some amazing 360-degree views. Just look at that, absolutely stunning. I think this is the highest point in the county as well. Just brilliant. You can see right up to Snowdonia National Park and over to Ireland as well, over to the west there. Absolutely incredible. So another notable new feature to the Action 5 Pro is depth and pressure gauges. So if you're into mountaineering or scuba diving, then these are obviously going to be a very worthwhile addition to you. Now, I think this is a first in the action camera market as well. So kudos to DJI for bringing this out. For slow motion, I find that 4K 120 frames per second is the sweet spot for me. But if you want to slow it down beyond 5 times, you'll need to adjust that in camera by going into the quick shot modes. Now you can select 240 frames per second, but this will be in 1080p. If you want to slow that down even further, you can use a super slow motion feature, which uses in-camera interpolation. Essentially, the camera processes the footage into a much slower file, allowing you to achieve up to 960 frames per second. So that's super slow. So I just want to do a quick comparison between the DJI Osmo Action 4 and the Osmo Action 5 Pro. Now, as you can see, the Action 5 Pro has a lot more dynamic range. You can see right into the shadows, even around my shirt area, it's a lot brighter, and the highlights are about the same in each shot. So yeah, you're definitely getting a lot more dynamic range, and that equals better image quality. So through this video, I've been using the DJI Mic 2, but here's a quick clip to compare the onboard mic with the Mic 2. So this is an audio test with the DJI Mic 2 and the Action 5 Pro. And this is an audio test with the internal microphone on the DJI Action 5 Pro. So I think the onboard mic is actually quite good, but if you really want to step up the quality of your audio, the DJI Mic 2 is a great addition. It just connects via Bluetooth and it also records in 32-bit float, meaning if you accidentally raise your voice too much, you can recover any of that clipped audio in post-production. And I think this is a bit of a game changer when it comes to sound quality. Now, the battery pack is also worth a quick mention because it holds and charges 3 batteries, meaning, you know, if you've got this with you, you've got up to sort of 12 hours of record time. It also doubles as a power bank as well. So say if you're out on the trails and your phone is running low, you can simply plug your phone in via a USB-C cable and it will charge your phone up, which is super handy, I think. And yeah, so small and light as well. Now, if you need even more battery life, the multi-purpose charging handle is a great option. It's got a 4,900 milliamp hour battery built into it, which is perfect for those long time lapses or maybe extended periods of filming. It also features the power, quick shot and record buttons to make things easier when you're vlogging as well, which is really cool. Now I've got the adventure bundle here, which includes the battery charger, 3 batteries, the selfie pole, the Action 5 and a few other different accessories as well, as you can see. Now overall, I think this is an amazing system, and I just genuinely can't wait to create more videos with this setup because it just makes the whole thing so much easier. So to learn more and check out the current prices, be sure to check out the link in the video description. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like and why not subscribe for more content. The links up here will take you to another video and also my ebook on landscape photography composition. Anyway, thanks for watching and I do hope to see you again next week.